When did I land on the beach? It was D+2 when we were in reserve, and we were in our landing craft waiting to be landed on, and we circled and circled for 8 hours, and the beach was so full and crowded they put us back aboard ship, and we went in on D+2.
D+2.
Yeah. Well, where we landed on the beach was just in the lower part of Iwo Jima, just at the base, almost at the base of Mount Suribachi. And as we were on the beach, you couldn't get any footing on it because every step you sunk in, you couldn't dig a foxhole or anything. It was just
would
you could hardly walk up the beach. And it was very, very difficult. And,
wow.
Very loose sand.
So it was like quicksand without the water.
Right. Yes.
Wow.
And when you go down so far, you get in, you get feel buried by it, and it's. And the beach was landed on was about the only available beach that had anything, and the slope was very, very high. A very high slope going up the beach. And there's not too much beach.
Wow.
Just a very high slope. After laying on the beach, what were the first few days like? Well, the only thing I could say was like hell.
Okay.
Couldn't describe there's no way you can describe what it was with bodies and everything else. It was just impossible and indescribable.
Okay.
Well, the second question is about the same as that, what the battle was like. You can't.
You can't.
It's just.
How are you boys doing? Okay?
Okay, like I say, the first few days were like hell. It was like hell.
But
all the rest of the battle was like for everybody else in arms because it was unbelievable. The beach being as crowded as it was, and the reason we couldn't land on the same day on the back up because of the bodies and everything else on the beach.
Okay.
Until it was cleaned up. The commander of Iwo Jima waited until the first wave got on shore, and that he did not bombard the landing craft as they were coming in at the first wave. And when they were all on the beach, then he opened fire with mortars, artillery, and everything he had on the beach, which almost literally cleaned off the beach.
Wow.
Well, it was, I can't remember the date exactly. I had it on there. It's in the, on February 19th, we landed. And it was 5 days, 2 days, 5 days, and when the flag was raised, the first flag was right on the beach, just below Mount Suribachi, on the lower base of Mount Suribachi. We saw the first flag go up, and we saw the first flag up, and very small, and then all of a sudden we saw the second flag go up, and from finding out that the flag was too small to be seen by the ships and everything else in reserve.
Okay.
Then so they sent up from one of the landing craft, and as that second flag was put up. And it's still now, both flags are on display at the museum. When did the fighting stop? It did not stop for 36 days. Every day, every night, it was bombarding artillery and mortar shells. There was no day that it was stopped. For all the days from start to finish, there was activity every day. Why not? No, I wanted to go back. We were all signed up to go back. And we asked what the program was. We asked what it was. He says, well, you go to Guam first, which also I was on Guam for the liberation of Guam. And then we'd fly over to Iwo Jima. And the Japanese had what the program was as a celebration for the Japanese soldiers and also for the American soldiers. When they said that we had to have a thing for the Japanese, there were about 3 or 4 of us that canceled out. Do I miss the Corps? Yes, I do miss Corps. I'd go in if I was young enough, I'd go back in again. And what the first thing was I did when I got home, that I can imagine, and just thankful to the Lord that there's, and I don't know why I got home.
Oh wow.
So anything you want to answer, since or whatever you want to do, I can't, like I say, there was, every night, there's no rest, because we caught more hell in the back of the lines than we did as we replaced the lines and moved forward.
Wow.
So,
Now, you received the Purple Heart. That means you got wounded, right?
yes. Yes, from a couple of wounds and blast concussion and from a mortar shell.
Oh wow.
That's what it was then. And there were a lot of others that were a lot worse off than I was, and I was thankful that Corman said, well, mine was bad. He was ready to send me back to the beach, but he says, well, you'll heal in a day, so I went back on the lines.
I guess whenever you're not too bad, you can just go back to it. I guess whenever you're just not that bad, you can just go back to it.
I was able to walk and use the rifle. I was able to go back.
Wow. Well,
so that's about it.
Well, thank you, Grandpa.
There's one thing I'd like to. I've got some bloody sands of Iwo Jima here that you can have.
Oh, thank you, Grandpa.
And put it with one.
Well, thank you, Grandpa.